Mate, let me tell you, we all bloody hate getting ghosted by women over text. But have you ever stopped to wonder why it's happening? Why does she leave you on scene despite going on a great first date with you? You presented yourself like a gentleman and you had actual interesting conversations. Why does she lose interest? Well, in this video, I'm going to break down 5 very common deadly texting mistakes and messages that most guys make after being out of the dating game for a while. And what you should say instead to spark that deep sexual energy and attraction within her to make her fully submit and become addicted to you. So, if you've started healing and recovering from a painful divorce or separation, or you're single but want a woman, maybe you're struggling to build up your sexual self-confidence, you want to understand the psychology of women, and you want to meet a bunch of awesome women to date and find that one amazing woman to build and create your dream ideal relationship with, and you're sick and tired of being invisible, ignored, friend zoned, disrespected while the assholes are getting laid, and you just never commanded the respect that you deserved in your relationship, and now you're feeling like you're not good enough or unworthy to demand women who actually treat you like a king, then this video is for you. But this is a longer, in-depth, deep dive to really break things down and give you serious value. So if you're just a mindless scroller, never taking action, never facing yourself or taking responsibility for your failures, always wanting a magic pill, maybe you're lazy and hate being challenged and the kind of man who just keeps thinking, I'll do it tomorrow, and tomorrow hasn't arrived for years, then this is not for you. So adios amigo. All right, so let's get into it. So if you don't know me yet, I'm Dan, and for nearly 5 years, I've helped hundreds of men aged 40 to 55 start attracting, dating, and keeping quality women and creating wonderful relationships. In the last 15 years, I've interacted with multiple thousand women over text. It's possibly even close to 5,000. Before I met my toxic ex-wife, I was already frustrated as hell. Women and texting seemed like a brick wall. And in fact, if I'm honest, there were times I cried into my pillow in frustration, anger, and hurt because I was getting nowhere on text. After the divorce, it became my life's mission to master women, master relationships, and master texting. And so I put everything into it like my life depended on it. I went to hell and back because I didn't want to get 55, realize I was old, grey, wrinkly, and out of testosterone and out of years and chances to figure out how to be the man who attains the kind of women, love, and respect I'd always wanted but never found. What's more, I wanted to model to my daughter amazing, healthy sexual relationships so that she didn't grow up and contribute to the disaster of the modern relationship scene. The last thing that I wanted was to teach her through my own behaviors, patterns, and failures was that being alone is amazing. I wanted her to experience what a woman's real attraction, desire, and respect looks like to real men, not jerks or assholes, so that she can see what it means to respect a man who truly cares, respects, and cherishes her and selects strong, masculine, loving men. And the way it was headed, she was going to see me looking weak, pathetic, discarded, unworthy, and unwanted. So I had to figure out this texting thing. And what I learned is nothing short of wild. The first and most important thing that you must understand about texting is that women receive a lot of text. And if you want to position yourself as an attractive, desirable lover, not just another weak dude or girlfriend of hers, then there is a formula you must follow that makes you completely different to everyone else who texts her. The biggest overall mistake that you are making is that you are being way too nice and polite and blending in with the noise. Women crave a man who will take risks, doesn't care what she thinks, and a man who's willing to speak his deep truth because he knows what he wants. So here's 5 deadly texting mistakes broken down so you can really begin to understand why you keep failing over text, banging your head on the wall, thinking you're useless or unworthy or unwanted or unattractive, or worse, thinking there's no chance for you. All right, so buckle up, guys. Here's the first one. Now we have a message string here where the woman says, haha, where are you located? And asks a question. The response is just LOL. She says, I think we matched before, question mark. I think so. Guy says, first time on field for me, so no. What are the mistakes that he's making here? First of all, the guy's being really passive. He's being feminine. The feminine follows and the masculine leads. What's happening here is she's leading and he's just following. Another mistake that he's making is just leaving dead-end, uninspiring, uncreative, weak, and logical replies that give her no reason to reply. He's leaving all the burden of the interaction onto the woman, which is, it's the exact opposite of what should be happening between the masculine and feminine dynamic. Now, the reason he's doing this is because he's afraid to lead, he's afraid to take a risk, and he has this feeling that women owe him something just because he's on the dating app. Now, why is this a turnoff? This is how most men text, okay? So it puts you in the category of all men, and then you're not different, you're not unique. Why would she want to be with you? She wants adventure, and she wants excitement, and she wants leadership. This is none of that. And it also makes it really hard to reply, and it makes it really logical instead of emotional. And so she's going to ghost when you do this. Instead, you want to lead the conversation. You want to be in charge of the conversation topics, hold the frame, be inspiring in your messages, prompt her to reply. That doesn't mean ask her to reply. It means craft your messages in a way that make her compelled to reply. Make it fun, make it emotional, make it sexual. So here are some things after she said, haha, where are you located? Here are 2 examples that he could have put here instead. Somewhere between just out of reach and closer than you think, ... depending on your intellect and fun factor. This puts her in a position where she's being qualified, she's being tested, it's a little bit challenging, it's a little bit push-pull. It's a way more high-value response. Here's another one he could say that's fun, has fun and mischief, adventure and excitement in it. Where are you located? Currently in a high-speed police chase. Send backup. No time for nudes now. Later. This is injecting a little bit of sexual tension and sexuality into the text message, but it's also push-pull and disqualifying her. Adventure, mischief, fun, all of the above. It's going to be very hard for her to not reply to that. All right. Number 2. Woman has said, replied to one of his messages. Nicely said. You are on the right track. And he says, intensity could be useful and fun with the sexy devil. Still, can't run in the red forever. So what's your favorite way to wind down? Or what's the mistake that he's making her? First of all, he's letting her take the high value frame. Basically, by her saying you are on the right track, she is qualifying him. She is saying that she's the higher value, the prize, and he is the one that has to prove himself to her. He doesn't recognize that, and he doesn't immediately take back the frame, take back control, and flip the script on that. Okay. What other mistake does he make? He goes overtly sexual. Okay. With that heart devil emoji, you especially on dating apps, never use that as a man. Okay. You have to flip the script. You've got to be the man that women want to have sex with, not the 99% of men that are trying to have sex with every girl they come across. What that devil emoji subcommunicates is that you're just trying to have sex and you're not interested in the girl. And this will fall off, this will fail every single time. And it subcommunicates that you don't understand women, you don't understand sexual psychology, and you don't understand how to make her flip the script and make her show interest and invest back in you. It makes you the low value man in the interaction and puts her as a higher value. And we all know that women instinctively want to date at minimum an equal value or a higher value man than her. Perceived, okay? It's in her perception. And this is putting you clearly in the perception of lower value. Being sexual doesn't mean being overt like this. It means doing it subtly and doing it in a push-pull way that makes her feel interested in you sexually, okay? So instead, turn it around and qualify her, challenge her, create opportunities for her to get sexual, but don't come on to her sexually. So here's a couple of examples. There was obviously some talk about some intensity in the previous message. Oh, you think you're about that life? Adorable, okay? So you're talking down to her a little bit now, positioning yourself as higher value. You're about that life, adorable. But let's be honest, you probably need a nap after one espresso. All right, so this is flipping the script and accusing her of being a little bit weak. You're not being an asshole, you're just being playful. It's banter, it's fun. It's bringing sexuality into it in a very subtle way. It's making it playful, it's making it fun, it's making it exciting, it's making it interesting. And she's probably going to want to reply to this because she's going to feel challenged or she's going to feel like she has to prove herself. And that makes it fun. Or what about this? Intensity is fun, but it's not for everyone. Most girls who say that actually just love chaos. So what is it, toots? Intensity or just cute drama? Again, you're qualifying her, you're putting it back on her, you're not just answering logically and giving her no reason to reply. The other mistake that he makes here is he transitions to, so what's your favorite way to wind down with a question mark? This is just not interesting to women. This is a boring getting to know you question. We're trying to create sexual chemistry, fun, banter, flirting, sexual tension. We're trying to qualify the woman. We're trying to lead to a date. We're not trying to get to know all her deep, intimate secrets at this stage. All right, number three. It's a bit of a longer message. So the woman here has, I won't read all of it, but she's opened up. She's basically qualifying herself to the man. She's saying what she's into, what she likes, and that she likes a really healthy, balanced lifestyle. The man goes, sorry, maybe that was a little too direct. So he's being apologetic. I've had a few fake profile matches recently. He's explaining himself. He's mansplaining. Just trying to see if you're one of them. This is a really clunky way of qualifying the girl. Obviously you're not, which is great. Now he's just talking crap. He's making a huge, long, unnecessary message he didn't need to make. Okay, I don't want to rush either. That definitely sounds very balanced. Again, this last little bit is him being the follower and her being the leader. He is falling into her frame. You can't do this on the dating apps and the text messages. Someone has to be the boss. It's either going to be her or it's either going to be you. Who's it going to be? Because if you leave her to be the boss and you're the follower, then you're not going to get anywhere and you're never going to get the date. So you've got to get the frame back and own the frame and put her in her place as the woman in the relationship. So he's being apologetic. He's got walls of text. He's trying to build intimacy before chemistry is even established. And he's showing all of his cards. Okay? There's no mystery. There's no intrigue. He's just there putting it all out on the table for her. Let women give long walls of text. That's okay. That doesn't matter. But when you do it as a man and you put all this out on the table, it steals the mystery and intrigue from her. So he's also getting ahead of the girl emotionally. This is what a lot of men do. Men are thinking, oh, I want a girlfriend, I want a relationship. And so they get ahead of the girl emotionally. You've got to build sexual chemistry first, and you have to establish that first, and then get her on. Dating apps are not the place for building intimate communication about relationships. That's what second and third dates are for, okay? Texting should be fun, exciting, and it should be easy for her to do, not a drag, not a bore. Okay, so women are inundated. This is why she's turned off. Women are inundated with men who want to lock her down immediately. She wants excitement. She wants chemistry. She wants you to take the lead on that. It's not her job to do that. You're the man. Stop following women. Be the leader. Lead her where you want her to go. Be unapologetic. Chemistry first, relationship second. So, for example, she said here she's into ice baths. Here's two examples of how he should have messaged her. Okay, there's endless opportunities, and I've made heaps of videos on this, and you've probably already seen my 5-step text framework, which goes through the 5 steps of open, vibe, flirt, qualify, close, and how to sit in those frameworks. And so this is already going, she's already qualified herself. So we're heading towards maybe a soft close here. Maybe we're leading towards a close at this stage of the framework. So give her some shit, tease her a little bit. Ice baths. So you're the type that tortures yourself for fun. No thanks. I'll stick to warming up. Somewhere with a mulled wine. Are you down? Right, it's a bit of a soft close. It's leading her to a date and it's not falling into her frame. Or how about cute, structured, predictable, almost like you're trying to convince me you're not secretly an adorable little brat. I'm not buying it. I'd better see for myself. I also know the perfect rendezvous too. That leaves it a little bit open, a little bit of intrigue, a bit of clickbait, a little bit of mystery. It's interesting. It's a bit of push-pull. You're challenging her. You're not like trying to get her. You're saying, I'm a high-value man, and you've got to try and convince me that why should I go out on a date with you? Of course, I want to go out on a date with a beautiful woman, but I can go on dates with millions of women. Why would I choose you? You've got to get her to invest into the conversation and not just giving you flat answers, okay? So here's the next one. It's a little bit longer. This was a client of mine. All of these are clients of mine and some of their earlier text messaging before we turned it around and fixed it. All right, so this client met a woman in a bar, and he said, it's the southern guy you met in the Lansdowne last night. Well, I was just wondering, did you get home safe last night? This is the worst message that you can send, okay? You've got to establish fun and chemistry first. And the fact that she even replies to that will let you know that she's got home safe last night. You see, what this subcommunicates is that you're trying to be in a relationship with a girl way too early. They feel smothered. Of course she's okay. She's lived 25, 30 years and survived. Of course she got home safe, okay? It's a boring, typical, predictable question that a lot of guys ask. It's nice guy questions. And P.S. Happy birthday, by the way. I hope you had a good one. Kiss, right? Look at this. Who does this? Girls do this. Women do this. And maybe men do it when they're in a long-standing relationship and they want to give their woman a kiss in a text message. This is the opposite of masculine. This is mirroring feminine texting. Okay, it's terrible and it will work against you. Of course, she's going to reply because it was nice and she spent time with him and she's a polite girl. She's a very nice girl. Yes, I did. Thank you. It was a good night. I'm suffering for it now, though. Laughy face, kiss. She does the kiss, right? And he said, and now he goes into this huge wall of like telling her about his life story, right? The idea of texting is to get off the texting. The whole point of the five-step text framework is that you get to the date. Okay, you build chemistry, you create sexual tension, you build interest, you build intrigue, you get her excited to meet you, and then you get off the app. This guy goes into, you seem like a lovely girl, and I really enjoyed our conversation last night, and I love the way I have an interesting, intelligent conversation with you, and I'd like to get to know you more and take you out for a date to celebrate your birthday. What the fuck? This is like the gay BFF. Okay, it's the gay BFF boyfriend. Don't be like this guy. He's trying to impress her with how nice he is. He's oversharing, verbal vomit, using feminine language. So it paints him as not masculine. And this is a complete, the reason he does this, it's a complete failure to understand texting as a step to getting on the first date. And he's doing feminine mirroring, which is following and passive instead of masculine leadership and leading the conversation and leading the vibe and leading her emotionally where he wants her to be. Why does it turn women off? Because women see patterns like this all the time. And the pattern that that she sees is the guy that's needy, desperate, clingy, insecure, has no other options. He's desperate for a girlfriend, right? These are all the things that subcommunicate terrible, terrible, terrible things to women. Instead, guys, be high value, short, sharp texts. Create excitement, chemistry, sexual tension, mystery, intrigue. So here's a couple of good examples that he should have put here instead. You survived? Barely. Not sure I'm impressed yet. If I told you what I got up to after you left, you might need another drink to handle it. Why is this a good message? Clickbait. Leaves it open. Mystery, intrigue, excitement, mischief, adventure, right? She's going to, suspense. She's going to want to go. She's going to want to reply to that. What about this one? Ha, you're lucky. I was going to charge a hangover tax, but I might let it slide if you can make up for it with a decent Sunday adventure. Leading her to the date straight away, future pacing the date, putting that in her mind, planting the seed in her imagination that you want to go on a date. Okay, it's smooth, it's funny, it's witty. She's going to laugh, she's going to have a giggle, she's going to want to reply. This is just horrible, guys. Don't do this. All right, what's the next one? Last one. Okay, what we have here is Sal, who was a client of mine, and this was around when we first started doing work together. This was some of his first messages that you sent me, some girl that he'd met somewhere on a dating app or something. And he's just texting her the same boring message, following up. What has he got? Same day. Okay, same day follow-up. Hi, Michelle. Hi, Michelle. Hope you had a restful night's sleep and I wish you a joyful and fantastic day at work. ... Sal. She knows who you are. You don't have to put your name in there. Okay, you might put that if you were moving from a dating app over to texting, but I've got a whole other video on transitioning to transitioning platforms. It's dry. It's boring. He's treating her like a work colleague. He's impatient. He's too nice. There's zero chemistry building. It's desperate. He's subcommunicating that he needs this woman to reply to him. Okay, why is he texting all these times? Hey, Michelle, the weekend is just around the corner. What is your weekend looking like? Sunday's weather is looking great, and I would love to take you for a drive to the Central Coast for lunch. Question mark? Sorry I didn't come back to you. She's just exasperated at this stage, right? And she ditches him. It doesn't go anywhere. She ghosts him, okay? So the reason that he's making these mistakes is because he doesn't understand, at this point, he didn't understand that men create chemistry or kill it. Women follow sexual attraction and desire, and chemistry is created and men lead it. Why is this a massive turnoff to her? no opportunity to invest for her, no fun, it's needy. He's getting way ahead of the game, right? He's treating her like a work colleague to start with. There's no spice in it, right? Even if he's in a relationship with her, this would be horrible messaging. It's so polite. Okay, so it's boring, it's low value, he's making himself too easy. He's not a challenge. There's nothing exciting about this guy in these messages, and it's the same as 95% of guys on text messaging and dating apps. Instead, follow up in a high value, fun, non-needy way. Make it a pattern interrupt, so you're breaking patterns. Have patience. Women work on completely different time frames than we do. Men want a response in 24 hours, but women will sometimes reply in 3 days or a week. Okay, so you've got to create more options, so you're not just having focus on one girl and then you're desperate for a reply from her. This is why I want you to create a system where you've got multiple women to date, so that your male masculine brain doesn't hyper focus on one girl and smother the crap out of her. Okay, you've got to be the prize that's worth desiring. So here's a couple of examples that he should have said at some point after this top message. I was about to send a search party, but I figured you were just carefully crafting the perfect reply to win me over. No pressure. It flips the script. It's funny. It's cocky. It's going to make her think. It's going to make her realize, oh, I didn't reply to him, but I want to because he's interesting. Or what about this one? Wow, Michelle, slowest text duel in history. Mental note, never pick her for my apocalypse team. Right? You're disqualifying her. You're telling her off gently in a fun, playful way. You're giving her a little bit of a smack on the hand for not replying to you and forgetting to reply. Okay, it's way more interesting. All right, so that was actually Sal in June last year, and this is Sal now with his girl that he's met. So after we completely eradicated this horrible texting, Sal suddenly started attracting women over text instead of repelling them. And he's just one of the many men that I've helped find their perfect match, honestly, in under 4 months. After he was in a 20-something year marriage, and he spent a couple of years trying desperately to figure out how to meet and date women because he didn't want to be single for the rest of his life. Okay, and he's in his early 50s. I've made hours of deep dive analysis and breakdowns of how to text women the right way. Here's some examples, right? These are full text conversations where I do videos going through every line, explaining why it's good, aligning it to the 5-step text framework. There's so many examples like this. You can pause and have a look at these examples if you want, okay? But all that being said, guys, the whole point is that, and I'll just get back to here, okay? The whole point is that the way that you're texting is wrong, and it's not that there's no hope for you, it's that you've just got to learn what it means to text people the right way. Now, that's already a very long video, and it's a lot for you to take in, and you can see that I'm deeply passionate about helping guys overcome this, because I know that when I can get this message out and all the men in the world realize that texting is a beast that you can learn, it's something that you can change, and it can completely flip your results completely on their head. And so I'm just passionate about it. But for today, that's all from me. And if you want to learn more about how I help men just like you who went through a tough divorce or bust up or separation or breakup in their relationship, the dust has settled, you're on the road to recovery, you're on the way to healing, and you don't want to get to 55, gray and wrinkly, and realize, oh, I kept saying I'll do something about it tomorrow, and now it's too late. Okay? Start going on 1 to 3 quality dates with quality women who are into you, like you, want to be with you, are interested or excited in as little as 3 or 4 short months. Then check out the first link in the description below, where you can learn more about my one-on-one dating coaching and the natural attraction dating blueprint. I love you guys. Peace. And I'm going to see you in the next one.